Under center. So real quick, I'm gonna go pretty fast here. 1998, right out of the Marine Corps, I get my first teaching job and my first head coaching job. I had no business being a head coach. I was walking in thought to be a substitute teacher, and walked out of the interview as a head football coach. I'd never been a varsity coordinator. I'd never coached JVs. I'd coached a couple years of freshman when I first got out of the Marine Corps, my alma mater, as I was just starting to get started at college with the GI Bill. I had no business doing. I didn't know what I was doing. We went 2-8. They were 0-24. We did win 2 games, broke the streak, but we lost 72-0. Lost the game 69-3. So I really had to get a system, right? I needed something to hang my hat on. I was swimming in the deep end with fundraising and parents and equipment. I didn't have time to put all of my energy into building an offense. So we were under center. The wing T was a system. There was a couple of really successful wing T coaches who took me under their wing. And so I just kind of ran with it and never looked back. So we were under center wing T from 98 to 2011-ish. So roughly about 13 years, and we won and we were successful. And in my situation at my IBM schools, my itty bitty Mexicans, I could win with 140-pound guards. I could win with a 210-pound tackle. I had lots of running backs. They were all 4'8", 40 guys. They weren't going to go college, but you can win with a 4'8", 40 guy. You can win with a tough 140, 160-pound wing. And I had lots of them. I was always too deep at all the running back positions. I wasn't always too deep at quarterback, and I didn't have the big linemen that could chip to linebacker like the zone guys were doing. So the wing T was a system that was easily adaptable from year to year. I've had years where I've thrown for 2,800 yards in a season. I've thrown for 1,800 yards in a season. The Pennsylvania team last year, we threw for 1,600. And then I've had years where we only threw for 8, but had 2,000 or 3,000 yard rushers. And I never had to change my playbook because of personnel changes. It was easy to adapt. And it's why the wing T has stood the test of time. But I got in the playoffs, and, it was just too many people in the box. We needed to throw the ball, and we were winning. And so basketball players started coming out, and I finally got myself a big quarterback who could throw about 70 yards. So I knew in the offseason we needed to throw the ball. So I went shotgun, the GOAT, the legend next door to me, Pat Murphy. I reached out to him. We stepped down for 3 days in Utah and really went through it. And I got on that plane. I was going shotgun wing T. Pat Murphy had me sold. We went to a camp. And the other team was running shotgun wing T, and of course we were running shotgun wing T, and we sucked at it at the time. That the team we're playing was a much higher level. They were playing the highest classification in California, and we stuffed them in the camp for 3 days. Every time we scrimmaged, they couldn't get a yard on us. So we were a pretty good football team. We were coming off a 12-0 under center season, so our team was really good. We were just struggling on offense of finding identity. So we're coming home in a school van, and both my starting linebackers were in the van with me. And so we had a good talk on the ride home. And they were telling me, Coach, we knew every play. When they set that fullback off to the side, we knew what the play was. That bothered me. So on those original DVDs, we're in an old Indiana Hoosier gym, and you guys can kind of see me in a basketball gym working through our players. That was the first night. That's when we did the pistol wing T. I didn't get it from anybody. My running back coach, Dennis Moody, who's now up in Washington, having a lot of success as a head coach, he got in my ear and said, hey, why don't we do what Colin Kaepernick's doing up in Nevada, Reno? Colin Kaepernick was still the quarterback for Chris Hall. And we just moved our fullback back. And I'm telling you right now, guys, in 30 minutes, we had the offense in. So we never looked back. And it was because of some of the things I'll go through with the shotgun. We wanted our tailback behind the quarterback. It made us stay true to our wing T roots, and we could always run right or left with our tailback behind the quarterback. When you offset your tailback or fullback to the quarterback, you cut the offense in half, and it created a lot of changes for us in the backfield footwork. Because now the quarterback's at 5 and the fullback's off to a side, and you only have one wing. And we didn't want to change. All my lower level teams are still under center. This year in Pennsylvania, my son's the JV coach. They go under center. And so now that JV quarterback, we're inheriting him. He's already had a whole year of under center practice and reps. And now we just got to transition to the pistol. It's easy. We can go right or left. That was a big deal. I can go belly left. I can go belly right. I can go guard trap left. I can go guard trap right. I can go buck left. I can go buck right. the shotgun guys, whatever side the fullback's on, well, we know which way Buck's going, and we know that the RPO is always going to go to the side of the offset fullback. And so it's just too predictable for me. Couldn't run midline and veer. I love midline and veer. We put midline and veer in when we were under center, and we still to this day run it and have a lot of success with it. 2 years ago, the 12-0 Pennsylvania team, we ran more midline and veer than I ran buck sweep. It was just we had the quarterback that could do it, and just it was just looking good for us. Can't run midline and veer out of shotgun. So if I had to summarize this in one sentence, go to the pistol if you want to run the ball. This is two sentences, I guess. Go to shotgun if you're going to throw the ball. Now, we throw the ball, though, and I can do all the air raid stuff. I'm going to talk about, I think Friday night, I'm going to talk about our air raid concepts. But our air raid concepts are pretty basic. And I'm just not a fan of RPOs yet. I'm not going to go down that road. The guys are going shotguns because they want to run RPOs. I don't want to make my quarterback the offensive coordinator. I do run RPOs. I have an RPO off the belly. I have a tight end RPO off buck. We have some pre-snap stuff that I got from Adam Matheson that we do to the split inside. But, you know, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole and say we're going to marry an RPO to every run play. It's just my personality. Scott Meadows is doing it, and Scott Meadows got a Tennessee State Coach of the Year. Kenny Simpson's doing it. Adam Matheson's doing it. So I'm not saying you can't do it. It's just it wasn't for me. I didn't want to make my quarterback the. And what happens if I do have that quarterback? I spend all summer. We get the RPOs. He's getting the reps. I've got the reads down, and he gets injured. Well, now what happens to your playbook? Now you got this backup quarterback in. You've sold out the shotgun because you want to run RPOs, and you got a quarterback that can't hit the broadside of the barn, right? So, or can't make the reads. Or what if it's snowing? What if it's raining? What if it's your third string quarterback, right? So the pistol versus shotgun, here's some things. Quarterback belly. Okay, what if your quarterback's a great runner? Okay, great. What if your quarterback gets hurt and you don't have a runner? And, you know, this isn't wing tee. This is just wildcat. You're just direct snapping and running in the B gap. There's no deception. There's no belly option. So, you know, I didn't like that. Didn't like losing down. I didn't like my fullback running buck sweep because my left wing and all my lower levels, my left halfback runs buck. And then in this formation, how do I run buck left? Why I can't run buck weak? I love running buck sweep weak to a 4-3 team. Against a 4-3 team, buck sweep right away from tight end is really good. What if they're rolled all their secondary up to your tight end, or they're in an underfront? Then you know, I need to run buck sweep away from tight end. I can't do that in shotgun. Where's guard trap? Best play in football. And then again, the offense is in half, right? So these were my hesitations. I spent a spring researching it. I have all Lou Johnson DVDs. I have all Pat Murphy's DVDs. I flew to Utah to spend 3 days with Pat Murphy. I was heavily invested in it. And I won't go back, and it's because I want to run the ball. Okay. So this was that earlier talk that I missed, that you guys missed. So there's the buck sweep, and then there's our buck sweep. So there's their buck sweep, shotgun wing tee. They have the RPO thing. I don't, but my buck sweep is much truer to wing tee roots, and I can go buck left and buck right. Guard trap, that's their guard trap. It's from 5 yards. There's their belly. That's their belly or quarterback belly. Either way, where's the deception? The fullback going right in front of the quarterback. Everybody can see the handoff. It's pretty obvious who's getting the ball. So you're strong. Your right guard and right tackle better be due to make those blocks because you're not fooling anybody. Okay. Here's our belly. Right where we open pivot. On those original DVDs, we were reverse pivoting. I never reverse pivot now. That's one of the changes from the original back in 2012. We used to reverse pivot on things. I don't reverse pivot on anything now. So we get that snap, we open, and he reads it. Now everybody always says, well, coach, if you're reading and your tackle is blocking out or you're cross blocking and your guard's kicking out, doesn't the defensive end make the tackle? Nope. Quarterback pulls it, there he goes. Because of the fakes. Watch this defensive end. I'm going to go slow. Because this fullback, and this is my buddy who's talking on Saturday. This is Wickliffe, Ohio. Marseille Porcello is talking Saturday morning. So me and Marcel met. He brought me in to do a camp. And he, I emphasize about the fakes. And if you see this really good fake right here, watch this defensive end come inside. Right there. There's the defensive end. And there goes the quarterback right around. Now, we pitch the ball. I would like to attack this more downhill, hit this real hard. If a player shows up, we pitch it. Mars has the motion guy just becoming the lead blocker. Can't do that kind of stuff out of shotgun. Okay? So, now I can still take integrity of the whole belly family. I can run belly. I can run tackle trap. I can run belly sweep. I can still run tackle trap. Now, here's a built-in RRO read, a run-run option. The defensive end chases the tackle. Our quarterback can keep it and run the option. Coaches, this is the hardest read of the offense right here. Of all the reads I'm going to talk about in this next hour, this is the toughest read. And most of the teams that I do the camps for do not put this read in. And I would say I've been running pistol now 8 years. Out of those 8 years, I probably have had a quarterback that can make this read for 2 years. Because the quarterback's at 3 yards, this is a very fast read. He's got to make it right now. Looks great on paper, but it happens really fast. And then we run tackle trap if the end stays home or comes upfield. So here it is. This is the old DVD when we were reverse pivoting. I'm going to get to some video of our Pennsylvania team running it and my quarterback keeping it. But this is when we're reverse pivoting. This is the old DVDs. When I switch to the PowerPoints, you'll have some more updated game film. My running backs get caught from behind. The belly sweep play with the ride and reach. This would be another one that I can't do out of shotgun. This is what they call power. I have this still. It's G lead. This is the belly sweep. The slides are out of order. So this is Hamilton, Ohio. This is the very first school that ever brought me in to put it in. I think they ended up winning 26 games in 3 years, went to the playoffs, Final Four in Ohio. So you open up on the belly, ride the fullback, ride, and then reach. And that wing is following. Look at this backside guard right here pulling. And you follow that guard. Again, you can't run this out of shotgun. And I can run this right or left. I could fake belly to the right and bring the wing around this way. So these are some of the reasons why if you're a running coach and want to have a very variety of run plays, then this is what you want to do. You can't run the down play out of shotgun. And we, with the pistol, we still shuffle. I haven't changed that. We still shuffle. We still read this guy. I haven't changed any of that from the original DVDs. And I'm going to switch PowerPoints after this right here. So as far as midline and veer, okay, with my ABCs, can't do this out of shotgun. And we love this out of pistol. ABCs. The letter tells us that we double team the first guy inside the gap. We read the first guy outside the gap. So to our linemen, these are the same rules. Army is an A gap play. So the first man inside the A gap, you double. First man outside the A gap, you leave alone, which is what you do on midline. That's our read. Baylor is inside veer. Baylor is inside veer. Double the first guy inside the B, a 2I, or a 1. Leave the first man outside the B alone. Cal's outside veer. Double the first man inside the C. Leave the first man outside the C alone. The fullback, his rules are run at the double team. So follow those double team rules. He just runs the double team. Quarterback's rules, put the ball in front of the double team. So I give Herschel Moore the credit for this. I heard him talk at the Roger Holmes Wing T Clinic years ago. And Herschel Moore is a Hall of Fame coach who's passed away out of Tennessee. And so ABC for our kids, this is all one play for our kids. Just the A or the B or the C just tells us what gap, but they're not separate plays. But Army's midline, Baylor's inside veer, Cal's outside veer. Can't do this out of shotgun. So the thing with the pistol and the shotgun is that we do have the threat of 4 receivers. We're in traditional under center wing T, you don't. The reason I refuse to take my wings out as slot receivers is now I lost that slot receiver as a running back. And if you count the quarterback running the ball, you have 4 running backs on any given play and 4 receivers on any given play. Very stressful for the defense. So we kind of hit the happy minimum. I tell people, if you want to run the ball, go under center. If you want to throw the ball, go shotgun. You want to sling it 40, 50 times a game, you be in shotgun. Pistols, we met in the middle, right? We met in the middle. Pistol's not as good in the running game as under center, and it's not as good as the passing game in shotgun. But pistol is better at running the ball than shotgun, and it's better at passing the ball than under center. So it was a good, happy medium for us. We could do audibles, our pre-snap reads. We easily can go back to center. You guys, you've got to think about this. It's easy to sit here, and I'm sure you've got teams on your schedule that are really good air raid guys. They are in the shotgun. They're no huddle, no tempo. What happens if that quarterback gets injured? What happens if it's snowing? What happens if your third string center? This year we had a year, both of our centers were put in quarantine. Our team was put in quarantine. And then we had one practice where they came out of quarantine. We had one practice. The 2 centers were still in quarantine. I had one practice to get a third string center. He wasn't even third string. He was just that kid who went to practice. We said, who snapped the ball before? I had one practice to get that center ready. And then we had to play Monday night. Well, I went under center that game. I didn't have time to teach this kid pistol snap. I think he was a center like in 5th grade or at Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving game against his uncles. That's the only time he had played center. So, what happens when you go all in with shotgun or pistol and you go all in with this pistol stuff and guys get injured? Hey, when I'm in pistol, I'm telling you right now, we can walk our quarterback up 3 steps and run our whole offense from under center. And there's a little bit of adjustment with our quarterback, but our running backs, our line, we don't miss a beat. Joe, why don't you reverse pivot anymore, Coach? What's the reasoning? Great question. So if you have a quarterback who you really he's not a runner, okay, but he's a thrower, so you're going to stay in pistol. Because here's my analogy. If you've got that really smart kid who's basically the booster president's son, or maybe he's got a hot mom and you just want him to play quarterback so you can talk to the mom more. I don't know why, but he's not really a quarterback, but he's smart. He can stay in the huddle. He can call the plays. He's not going to stutter. He's going to show up every day. Go under center and hide the ball. Win with those 3 running backs. If you got a kid that can throw the ball, but he's really not a runner, he's a tall, lanky kid, giraffe legs, then reverse pivot and hide the ball. Okay? The reason for pistol and being an open pivot team is so that you can make all of those reads, which our slides coming up. We now read an unblocked defender on every single run play. Every run play, we read an unblocked defender. We can only do that because our quarterback is open pivoting and not reverse pivoting. But why would we want to read unblocked defenders if the quarterback runs like I do, right? And he's got a 5.5 40 time. Well, then reverse pivot and hide the ball. I've just been blessed since we went to it. I've always been able to find a real athletic kid to be at quarterback. I don't always find a good thrower, but I can always find a good athlete. Right now in Pennsylvania, I have no quarterback coming back. We have nobody. The JV quarterback thinks he's going to be a Division I baseball player and has told us he's not going to play. So my son had invested a whole JV season on this kid, and the kid took a turn on us. So my son's in Pennsylvania now. We've got like 3 running backs that he's meeting with at the park, and he's going through it, and he's going to report back to me, and we're going to convert one of those running backs into a quarterback. So we're going to open pivot because we want to run the ball, and we're hoping they can throw the ball just well enough where we can keep people honest. I think RPOs are out the window. So in my situation in Pennsylvania, the school has about 600 kids. It's a co-op. There's a little town down the road with about 100 kids at their high school, and they merged them together. We're playing 2A ball. Pennsylvania goes 1A is the smallest, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. They might have 6A. So it's small school ball. We suit up about 65, 70 kids total. JV's play on Monday nights. So you guys understand the situation I'm in. It's not what I had in California where I had 220 football players and I had 50 guys on varsity and 50 guys on JVs and 90 guys on freshmen. I don't have that situation right now. So we are definitely going to open pivot with those running backs because I need them. I need the threat of running the ball. And because I don't know if I'm going to have a threat of passing the ball. So I hope that answered your question, Joe. Guys, it doesn't matter what you want to run. You're on all these clinics, right? You could build a Frankenstein offense right now with all this. Look at this clinic. We have 45 state champions. Every single talk you log into this weekend, you're gonna want to run it all because they're all just really good coaches. Guys, you got to go back. What are you an expert at? What can you teach? What fits your situation? It doesn't matter what you want to run. Get that out of your stinking brain. It doesn't matter what you want. Okay, you have to adapt it to the situation you're in. Okay, so I talked about the pistol wing T quarterback. Guys, I will take a disciplined, intelligent kid who's going to show up to practice every day with a high GPA. I'll take that kid over the selfish athlete who's going to miss all the time. I've got an incredible athlete who has a 2.0 GPA. I ain't putting my quarterback because I never know if he's going to be eligible next week. And I don't know if he's going to show up to practice. Okay. That is those 3 bullets right there are a higher priority for me than if they can throw the ball or what their 40 time is. Now, I'm not going to put some slapdick there, right? A kid that should be playing the trombone in the band. But I'm gonna make sure there's some athleticism there. Okay. Some of this stuff you guys were doing, it was on the original DVDs, but now this is the evolution. So in the wing T, the hang players, whether it's a strong safety, roll-up safety, a true outside linebacker, and a 4-4, we marry belly and belly option together now. I don't call belly option. I don't rep belly option. Belly and belly option are married now. Down and down option are married. Our quarterback always has the green light. As he open pivots, he's got the ball in the tailback's belly. He's riding that thing through. His eyes are over there on that hang player. And if this hang player cheats and comes in here to tackle our tailback, our quarterback pulls it, our right wing's in motion, we have a pitch player, and there we go. I showed you one clip of it. Same thing on the down. If you read Tubby Raymond's book, down and belly are the same thing. In fact, Tubby Raymond, the Delaware guys, they don't call it down. It's just belly to the tight end side. It's just strong belly. Roger Holmes calls it belly G. So I don't know where I learned the down play. I know a lot of wing T coaches call it down, but belly and down are really the same play. So that's what we're doing on belly down. Saves us reps in practice, okay, as far as what we're doing. I don't do this a lot. I need to hunt for it. I'll show it on Friday night. I have like 1 or 2 clips of where we read the one tech on this on guard trap. It's a good play. I need to run it more. We read the defensive ends on all of our counter plays. We read the inside linebacker. Oh, I'm missing a slide. I'm sorry, guys. When I change this. Okay, let me just stay right here. If we're running counter to this wing, we pull our tackle and tight end. We read this defensive end. If he chases the pulling lineman, our quarterback pulls it, and that's our pitch man, and then we have the motion guy. If we're running tackle trap off the belly, the tackle pulls on tackle trap. I showed that earlier slide. It's the toughest read in the wing T. So let me summarize. We're reading the outside backers on belly down. We're reading the defensive ends on counter. Then on jet, this is one of the new things. Some of you know that I read the inside linebackers on jet. I pull the play side guard, and if the inside linebacker chases the pulling guard, we pull it and we hit the backside A gap. Let's go jet to the left. Jet to the left. Here we go. Left guard pulls. Left guard pulls. Quarterback's reading this linebacker. This linebacker chases the pulling guard like he's supposed to. The tailback goes right up through this A gap and blocks this backer, and the quarterback pulls it and goes right here. So that's not terribly new, but I bet you it's new to some of the people on this talk. So there we go on jet. There goes our puller. There goes this linebacker. The left tackle, left wing, and the X think it's jet. So we're reach blocking here. We could crack, kick here. It doesn't matter. The left wing and the X taker. So we got 3 hats on 3 hats. We're good. We can hand it off. We're good. If he pulls it, then we're going to open up the backside A gap. And one of the things we changed it is, this used to be called 47-0 on the old DVDs because O was our onside pull. We now call this O's to remind the center to open up the backside A gap because the quarterback takes 1 step, makes his read, tailback blocks there, the tight end and tackle have those 2 guys, and then the quarterback folds it up. Another change from the original DVDs was this. We now on Oats snap the ball in the B gap to give the quarterback a little extra time to make this read. Our normal jet play, we were snapping in the A gap because we can hit it right now. And we have plays where we're handing it off no matter what. Let's go. We call it reach. If we say 47 reach or 28 reach, then we get in the A gap. Basically, the wing intercepts the pistol snap and takes off. But so the one change is snapping this thing in the B gap. Okay. When running the read off jet, would you consider folding the backside as well? Yeah. I don't want to get too much in the blocking rules. We have some things back here where we follow our normal blocking rules. Actually, now I think about that. No, we would not be able to. Let me get rid of all those lines. Erase all ink. There we go. Because somebody has to block this guy, and he's pulling. So the center and guard can't fold. The center has to get this guy. Okay? If you move this tackle, I don't know, maybe here, and now you're going to fold it. Well, now you only have a tight end, and you have an unblocked defender. Because what happens is everybody's moving on the jet. So when this quarterback pulls it, he ends up going over here. So you've got to account for these 2 guys on the backside. So actually, no, we would not fold it on the backside. We pretty much just base block this. Okay. I want to get to some of the changes because now one of the changes we made, and I really like this one, is, there's our Army Baylor Cal. That's what we read. I've already went over it. Okay. My PowerPoint's messed up. So let me back up right there. All right, fellas. Now what we're doing is I can run this both right and left. And this would be real easy for me to pull from game film if I stop yakking my jaws and we can get to it. So we go here, jet. We're reading this guy. We arc release to influence the defensive end. There we go. No puller. We are going to, if he was a head up, we double. But if he's in the gap, it's a solo block by the tackle, and he would go get the backside. The quarterback can shuffle as long as he can, and basically you just keep shuffling until the left wing outruns him. The tailback comes on the inside, so the tailback's right shoulder is going to rub with the quarterback's left shoulder. The tailback's right shoulder is going to rub the quarterback's left shoulder. So the quarterback crosses his face, and the tailback shoots up through there, and now your tailback's the lead blocker. We call this our power lead. If I want to offset the tailback and make him a lead blocker for the jet guy, then we got to wrap our backside guard to take care of that backer. And that's our power. So we have our power lead and our power wrap for clinic talk. My kids don't know any difference, right? Actually, we put this in our ABC rules. So this is now called Delta because we're doubling the first guy inside the D gap. D as in dog. We're reading the first guy outside the D gap. And if we say Delta G, G tells us to pull the backside guard. If we don't say Delta G, the tailback knows he can lead block. So that has been a really, really good play for us. And I can go strong or weak. We follow the same rules over here on the backside. We read this guy. Okay. What I don't like about over here though is I kind of lose I lose a blocker. So we kind of have to play some games here with that, and we're going to read that guy, and then he's going to veer release right there. Okay, and then we got the tailback to come up through to help, or we can pull the guard. So we run this both ways. That's been a really good play for us. I call that a lot, especially out of our imbalance. On the old DVDs, we used to call it tubby.